Today, I'm giving this giant jade tree a major bonsai prune. This thing is pretty tall as far as jade trees go. It measures at 54 inches, so that's 4.5 feet tall. This trunk is huge. Here's a soda can for reference. It is bigger than the soda can on the main trunk, and I've got 4 separate big, thick, woody trunks right here. This jade plant weighs over 100 pounds, and I know that because around 5 months ago, I repotted it, and it was way heavier than I expected. Now that it's adjusted to the new pot, it's a good time to give this jade plant a hard bonsai prune. I'm going to start with what I call a lollipop prune. And basically what that is I'm going up and down the trunks and finding little growths like this one, and I'm just going to remove them. When they're this small, I'll just kind of pull them away. If you want to use some scissors, you can as well. I lollipop almost every year, and I do it for 2 reasons. The first being I'm looking for this nice, thick tree look. So having little shoots out of here is not what I'm into. And every little piece I can take off of the big trunks is essentially power that's shifted upward. I'm looking for that upward tree-like growth. Now, sometimes I will leave some little things on the side if I'm feeling creative or have a vision. And I left this guy. I cut this big branch off fairly recently in another video. And I said, there's probably gonna be a little one that grows out. And sure enough, it's coming out of there, and I might keep it because I think it might look interesting. By working my way up and lollipop pruning, I get this nice, thick canopy that is really high up. It looks nice. I'm very happy with it because that's the style I'm going for with this tree. One of my main goals with this bonsai prune is to really open the canopy up so that I can expose the really nice trunk growth I have in here. So I'm gonna go through and selectively take out some branches that are kind of blocking the way, in my opinion, that aren't really adding to the aesthetic that I want. As I'm clearing this canopy, I'm also looking for branches that are going downward because they don't really serve the purpose of the look that I am trying to achieve. And anything that I think is going to start to get heavy and head downward, like this branch is starting to head down. So I am just gonna go ahead and take it at its downward part right there. Again, I've let this jade plant be for 5 months not to disturb it in its new home, and I've even there's like a spider nest in here that the spiders have already hatched and gone out of because you can see they ate their mama. I'm just gonna take that off of there. All spiders are gone. Ah, get off of me. Still kind of scary. Something I always do as I'm pruning is I'll give the tree a shake just to get any leaves that are barely hanging on for dear life off of there. And you'll see some fall off. I kind of did this already during a garden tour video I did not too long ago. As I clear out the interior of this plant, what I'm also doing is reducing the weight. This plant is starting to like shift downwards, right? Except for this top lanky part, which I'm going to take care of in a little bit. But taking this weight off is very important because I'd like the plant to stay more vertical. As you can see, this jade plant is currently blooming, and that's because it's the end of winter. I've even seen some bees around here buzzing. Ah, bee, get away from me. I don't want to get stung today though. Okay. It's all you. It's all you. Take your time. I'd rather have you on the tree than not. Speaking of jade plant flowers, they smell pretty good. They got a nice floral smell to them, obviously. Keep marching away here. As I cleared out the canopy, it became clear I underestimated the amount of pruning and cuttings I would have left over. It's always fun pruning this jade tree because it was my first jade plant. It was gifted to me over 16 years ago, and its growth and transformation has been extremely rewarding. Just take out there, get that upward growth going. You know what? Power move, gone. It might look like I'm taking a lot off, and sure I am, but because we are rolling into spring here, it is going to fill back in so quickly, and I will definitely be posting some updates on this This leaf right here does not look too healthy. It looks like it's dying, and this is just a side effect of winter, and jades shed their leaves naturally over time. If you have one of these on your plants, whether it's outdoor or indoor, don't panic. As long as the rest of the plant is looking pretty good, then all is well. I totally blew it. I thought I was filming and I wasn't, and you'll see I took all of the tops off of these like this or like this. This part of the jade plant was growing upwards. It was lankier. It didn't have that thick canopy. And so by doing this hard prune, I'm gonna create a thicker canopy and also more weight. And by putting more weight on these branches, what that's going to do is it's going to increase the size of the trunk, right? Because you need a sturdier branch to hold more weight. Now, I'm gonna spin this around to the sun so I can get a better look. Let's see how things are shaping up here on the backside. I can also kind of like safely start to bend these back a little bit. You can train your jades over time. I've mentioned it before, just by slowly bending them back, but making sure that you don't overdo it because you will snap it off. Turn around, see how she's looking. Oh, okay, let's do a final little look around, prune through here. I want it to be sparse like this, so I know it might look like cruel and unusual punishment, but when I show you this plant later on in the summer, you are going to be amazed with the amount of growth. I got so many jade cuttings, I can rake them like they're leaves off a tree. I have a big pile of cuttings right there, and what I've decided to do is I'm gonna cut them into little itty bitty cuttings. And then I'm going to plant them in little pots like I did these little miniature pine tree crassulas here. I know that this pot is too big for this jade plant. Jade plants have a very small root ball and can thrive in smaller pots. But I think that this pot right here is going to be this jade's forever home, or at least for another 20 years. Overall, I'm very pleased with how this bonsai prune turned out. I was able to address a few issues that I had with this jade tree. I understand it's a drastic change from what it looked like before I started pruning, but that's just part of the process. Because I pruned it this way, I'm going to get the growth, the shape, and the look that I'm wanting, and that is so worth it. In a matter of months, this thing is gonna look great. Every 3 to 4 months, I'll be doing some garden tour videos where I show updates on my plant projects. And that includes jade plants, and I'm going to be doing some videos on some other awesome succulent projects I've got going on. So I hope you follow along. Thanks for watching.